wrap around. Score!
Hello and welcome to the third season of Gulls All Access presented by California Coast Credit Union. My name is Andy Zilch, here to give you an inside look and most up-to-date information on the San Diego Gulls. It has been 608 days since America's finest fans have filled the Pechanga Arena. We'll take you to an inside look of the home opener. Fans flooded into a sold-out Pechanga Arena, eager to catch some live hockey for the first time in almost 2 years.
We have been waiting for over 600 days for hockey to return back to San Diego.
And we are ready to rock. Let's go Gulls, baby!
Inside, fans received rally towels and light-up wristbands and were treated to a pre-game on-ice laser show.
It's been a long time coming, season ticket holder since the first season, so it's just great to be back.
The atmosphere is just powerful right now. I mean, everybody here is ready for this puck drop and cannot wait.
On the ice, Alex Limoges' first goal of the season tied the game up in the first period.
Perot, cross, Limoges, shoots, scores! Welcome back to San Diego. America's finest fans, let them know.
Let's go, check the nest.
Brogan Rafferty added another goal in the third.
Rafferty shoots, scores!
But it wasn't enough to cool the Stockton Heat, who would win by a score of 6-2.
They're going to be really competitive this year. I cannot wait.
The Gulls will look to regroup and build on the team chemistry ahead of the next homestand starting Friday, November 5th against the Bakersfield Condors. The San Diego Gulls have a new bench boss by the name of Joel Bouchard. I was able to catch up with Coach Bouchard ahead of the season to get his thoughts on his coaching style and what he expects from the Gulls this season.
So let's make sure right now we're stepping up in the game. Okay, we're gonna go full line. We're gonna go with O'Regan after. Boys, stay tight there. There we go. Get out, boys. That guy should never get out. We're losing way too many battles. When you get from the bus, you always know, boys. Get her deep. Get your leg going. Two guys. Get up, O'Regan. That's it. You're gonna have to grease it up, boy. Hey, grease it up.
We're pleased to introduce the new head coach of the San Diego Gulls, Joel Bouchard. Joel, it's been quite a run here to get here, and you haven't spent much time in Southern California with everything that's been going on, but what's your impressions of Southern California?
Well, Andy, what's not to like? When you look at the weather, obviously, you're driving on the highway, you get beautiful mountain on the right, and then you get beautiful coast on the left and water, so it's obviously a big change for me, but I got a chance to come to California as a player, and now I'm living as a coach and a little souter, in California, so it's very nice.
What was attractive for you to come to this organization between the Ducks and the Gulls?
A challenge. You got to remember, I'm a French-Canadian coaching the farm team of the Montreal Canadiens, and I could have stayed there. I was 7 minutes from the rink. It was a big move for me, obviously, to come to California, but it was a fun move. It was the challenge of a lot of young players coming up. Really like my discussion with Bob Murray and Martin Madden, Tom Marchand, and Jeff Salmon and the crew. They've known us from the Ducks organization and the vision for the Gulls. So, after 3 years with the Rocket, I felt we achieved what, we were planning to do from the beginning, and you need to kind of have a new challenge, and that's kind of what brought me here.
To go along with that challenge, what have you heard from the culture and what's expected from this organization as a whole?
Well, my expectations are very high. And I know that obviously the Ducks organization have high expectation, and a vision is something. I think you have to have expectation, but you need to lay it out every day, and that's kind of where I feel comfortable to implant my philosophy, my mindset with the player. It's never about me, it's about the player, but you know, they need to be coached, and that's why I want to work with them to coach them to be the best version of themselves.
We stay with all the principle we've been working on, finishing in front, the kill zone, close quick, and those box out guys, they're very important. Because in the D zone, that's key. Transition. I wrote in red, let's get better here. Hang in there, boys. Hang in there. Hang in there. Turnovers, 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 turnovers. Hit him, be physical, get the game, boys. Big shot, go. Right now, we gotta get going by little plays. We don't need to score. We need to finish this 10 minutes by building our game. Build your game with little plays. Build your game with battle. Play the hard game. If you're looking for easy play right now, ain't gonna be there. The game is not giving it to you right now. Last few minutes, grease it up.
When did you start thinking about becoming a coach? When did that dawn on you?
I tell you what, my last few season when I was, you know, injured, banged up, and I play, the young guys start to gravitate around me and asking me questions and me giving them, you know, a little pointer. And when you're not playing, then you don't have that, obviously that thorough mindset of the game and your own performance. So you're kind of watching from the outside. And then when I was playing, for some reason, I was always in the younger team where the young guy would be my partner, or, you know, and I really enjoy them to perform well and help them out. And at one point, I almost liked them performing, like for them to perform better than me was almost what I wanted in a way that, you know, so I kind of knew. And then I went on TV for 3 years after, but I always stayed in the junior hockey as an assistant coach. With the local team. Pascal Vincent was a former teammate of mine, and Dominique Duchamp was the head coach, was the other assistant coach. So we kind of formed a trio, and I was doing TV and coaching. And after 3 years on TV with the local station there, RDS, that was unbelievable with me. Made the step into hockey big time, and I bought a junior team back in Quebec, and stayed in hockey since then.
Your pro career spanned 15 years, and I'll read off the stats here. Nearly 300 games in the AHL, 145 points, 257 penalty minutes. In the NHL, 364 games, 75 points, 264 penalty minutes. 15 years is a long time. Do you have any specific memories that maybe stand out amongst the rest?
You know what? The great news about being with the American League player for me is all the experience I got as a player. It was a tough journey. I got injured a lot. I missed, I think I counted one time, almost 200 games for injury. Missed almost full season a couple of times. So I was banged up a lot. But through my injury, I've found a way to go back to the NHL, to stay in pro hockey, and to learn a lot. So, and to have that step back during my injury to see how team, you know, were organized and all that stuff. So there's nothing really that a player will sit in front of me that says, well, you don't know like what I'm going through. I've been through all of it, you know, the goods and the bads of the pro. So I never forget what it is to be a hockey player. And I think my pro career was a great university of hockey to really learn all the aspects of the game. And, you know, I was very privileged to be coached by a lot of good coaches and then see adversity. And so there's nothing really the player can tell me to say, well, you've never lived that, or you don't know. I've lived, like I said, the high and the low. So it was a great journey.
We'll take a break and return for part 2 of our interview with head coach Joel Bouchard, coming up next on Gulls All Access, presented by California Coast Credit Union. The San Diego Gulls are hosting Military Appreciation Night on Saturday, November 6th, as they battle the Colorado Eagles at 7 p.m. Enjoy a pregame tailgate starting at 5 p.m. Then be the first 8,000 fans to head into the arena for your USA Gulls hat, brought to you by Indian Motorcycle of San Diego. Gulls players will be representing the red, white, and blue on the ice with specialty jerseys available for purchase at the game and online. Get your tickets today at sandiegogulls.com/promotions. The San Diego Gulls are the primary development affiliate of the Anaheim Ducks, and every season officially begins with development camp, showcasing the prospects and introducing them to the pro level. Here's a look at the camp.
what? It's a rookie camp, and we've guiding the players since day one. They've been great. It's tough physically. We had some guys that played a lot of minutes yesterday, back at it at noon today. We talked about that challenge.
The season officially started with rookie development camp, where the newcomers learn the ins and outs of becoming a professional. A new era is arriving to blend with the youth movement already stabilized in Anaheim.
A lot of fun, a lot of fun. It's cool wearing that jersey too. That was pretty special putting that on. But no, great experience, and it was fun to get to know a lot of the younger guys who are going to be this program's future. So I had a great time.
For development camp, these players move from thinking they know what it takes to become a pro to knowing what it takes to become a pro.
We had some really good moments, I thought, in the game, and there's moments where I could see mentally the fatigue and the lack of execution, and that's what the NHL is going to challenge them down the road with all those games. So it's good for a lot of our players, to live this.
This includes work ethic, on-ice habits, workouts, nutrition, and dieting.
And that's my goal, obviously, is to play in the NHL and play for the Ducks. So every chance I get, I'm going to try to earn that contract, as well as keep doing the right things and not really focus on that, but letting it come.
Camp translated into the 2021 Arizona Rookie Face-Off, where the prospects competed in a 3-day tournament that spanned 4 days in Scottsdale and Glendale. The Ducks plowed through the San Jose Sharks in the opening game by a score of 8-4.
Here is Tracy, centers, one-time blast, and Perreault put it by. Amo after a setup on the right wing side, and I'm telling you what, that was a vicious one-time blast.
He's really engaged. He wants to do well. He wants to be a difference maker, and that's what you want to see.
The second game against the Colorado Avalanche was much tighter, as the team lost in overtime by a 5-4 margin. A Ducks game-winning buzzer beater concluded the tournament in a 5-4 win over the Arizona Coyotes.
Another chance, they score! They score with 1.7 left!
Anaheim claimed 5 of 6 possible points, amassing the most points in the 2021 Arizona Rookie Face-Off.
Everybody showed something this weekend, and I can say that was our plan for the coaching staff, to make sure that they all have a good experience and they all have good moments, and they all did.
And Limoges will get the goal.
I haven't played a game in a while, and come in with high stakes, a lot of people watching you, and you got to perform.
Since 2018, the Ducks have collected 16 of 18 possible points, the most of any team in the tournament. That is an incredible feat that shows the youthful talent that has begun to set roots in the Anaheim Ducks organization, especially some highlighted this season in San Diego. I'm now joined with BJ McPherson, and let's talk about the home opener to get things kicked off. We're finally back after 608 days. Last year, they played at 5 Point Arena in Irvine. You had to drive up and down. I relocated to Irvine, and then we're back. How good was that experience?
Well, you think about that. It's been over 600 days since the last time we played at the Sports Arena, the Pechanga Center in San Diego, and you had a bunch of new faces from 2 years ago. But some of the bigger faces from last year that we didn't have in the lineup probably was a big reason why the opening night didn't go the way it was. You didn't have Sam Carrick, who was called up to the big club. Sonny Milano, who is a player who was sent down, but he was not there. So that's where you really show the American League the 3 biggest signs: travel, injury, and call-ups. Well, for the home opener, the call-ups got us.
Yeah, and hopefully moving forward too, this club knows that it's going to be a good process. And that has been spoken by the head coach, Joel Bouchard. Let's talk about the coaching staff first. You have Joel Bouchard, the new head coach. You have Daniel Jacob, an assistant coach, and Max Talbot, another assistant coach who's got a Stanley Cup championship under his belt.
Well, you think of the head coach, Joel Bouchard. Here's the guy who's been there. He's done it. Played in the Canadian World Championship team. Been in the NHL. He's been through the Quebec Major Junior League, and now he's come back and he coached. And he was the big-time coach in the American League in Laval, and that was for the Montreal Canadiens, who last year, what Mr. Bob Murray did, he picked up the golden nugget, and having him come to our team was a huge thing for the organization. And here's a coach I almost already love the way he talks after the games. He doesn't hold things back. If they lose, he's going to let you know how he feels about it. And that's the way Joel Bouchard coaches.
Well, it's the process too, and things just can't happen overnight. And as you look at the coaching staff, we'll dive in a little bit deeper on him. Daniel Jacob runs the defense. He has been with Joel Bouchard ever since those two have been coaching together. He was with them with the Laval Rocket, and he brings a great mentality to the defensive unit. Max Talbot, BJ, you can touch a little bit on him.
Well, Max Talbot's a guy who played in the NHL for the Pittsburgh Penguins, amongst other teams. But let me tell you, he's one of those guys you love to have on your team. You never love to play against. Stanley Cup winner. It's a guy who has grit, determination, and that's what he brings to this coaching staff. And when you get coaching staff who brings guys with you and you're able to pick up Max Talbot, let me tell you, coaching staff, pretty good.
Oh yeah, and the Gulls are looking to move past this 0-3 start. And let's talk about some of the returning players that we have. Players that fans didn't see live last year. Let's start with Vinny Lettieri, who is an offensive stalwart for this team.
Vinny Lettieri is what you call a guy who's almost in the NHL and then he's the top in the American Hockey League. This guy's got the lunch pail mentality. He does not quit. That engine continues to go at all times, and just a great asset to this team. And at any given time, he can be in the NHL. So having him on this team is huge.
How about Luke Ashto-Stahl, Ole Erikssonak? Those two netminders return. Future's bright for the goaltending here.
Well, let's be honest. Having those two guys as the goaltenders is just a benefit. Two hard-working, natural goaltenders. You know, to be a goaltender, you got to be a little weird. They're weird, but in a good way.
Brogan Rafferty working the blue line. 2 years ago, he put up 47 points in just under 60 games played as a defenseman. Last year, he only played one game in the NHL. He was a casualty of the taxi squad, but what have you seen from him so far?
We're 3 games into the season. Right now, for me, this is the guy, the bright spot in the organization in the American League. Rafferty is a defenseman who's on the level to go to the NHL. For me, his style of play, heads-up hockey, he can skate, he can shoot, but his mentality, he's got the hockey mentality. Can't teach that. He's got it. He's a bright spot.
Well, how excited are you for this turnaround here? Because you know it's going to come. Remember, we had an 0-6 start 2 years ago, and once the pandemic hit, the Gulls were one of the hottest teams in the American Hockey League. I think we're going to have a similar thing here this year.
Well, what Andy just said there, we were 0-6, and when the pandemic hit, Andy and I were talking, thinking, hey, we are one of the top 5 teams getting ready to go. It doesn't matter where we are right now in October. It's when we get later in the season, and this organization, they'll shape up and get things together. Remember, coming off the pandemic and everything, it's a long season, but this team will be there at the end.
Thanks a lot, BJ. Coming up, we'll have part 2 of our sit-down interview with Joel Bouchard, right here on Gulls All Access, presented by California Coast Credit Union. Looking to bring a big group to a Gulls game? Save on tickets by contacting our group sales team with prices starting as low as $17. Plus, enjoy group benefits including recognition on the scoreboard, special pricing on Gulls hats and scarves, and increased priority for premium games and seats. Visit sandiegogulls.com/groups to learn more. Welcome back for part 2 of our interview with the new head coach of the San Diego Gulls, Joel Bouchard. After everything we've been through in the American Hockey League, you and I are grouped into this. We had bubble play last year. Canadian teams couldn't come down to the States. You're here in San Diego starting anew. How excited are you to get this season going? First of all, with this organization, and then in front of fans as well.
Yeah, I think the fans were missing last year obviously in a lot of ways. So to have everybody back in the building, that's going to be great. Don't get me wrong. Having everybody kind of, like you said, after COVID year, coming back together as a group, that's exciting for me. To do something that, there's work to do, obviously, but to do something special or create something special, I think that's always the challenge for a coach, and it should be the challenge for the organization and the fan. Everybody wants to live something special, so that's kind of what excites me the most.
I know Laval had a really good fan base. What have you heard about San Diego's fan base?
I heard about the $2 Bud Light night. Everybody's been telling me how great that is. Everywhere I go, when obviously they find out that I'm with the Gulls, or I see a lot of excitement about the hockey club, and I know the attendance have been really good here. So trust me, it's been all positive from the fan, and I know a lot of fans are looking forward to go back because they've been telling me that they missed, the game last year. So it's exciting to be back in San Diego.
How would you describe yourself in a few short sentences to the fans on what type of coach you are and what you can bring to the San Diego Gulls?
Very detail-oriented. I I don't think success is a magic trick. I think success is being as good as you can be at everything that's in your power. So it's demanding, I get it. I want the player to play free, don't get me wrong. I want their talent to be out there, but I feel a structure that can help us. And, you know, we've seen it time and time again where, you know, it works and the results are there. So their personal success is important to me. As coaches, sometimes we can fall on the record reflect the coaching, where I really try to work on the player performance is more important than the result will be there. I don't focus on the result so much. I think it's just, it will happen if you do things the right way. So I'm pretty close on individual development with the player. I don't believe in, you know, all the players, you know, adjusting to the coach as much as I got to adjust to a lot of the guys, because my job is to maximize their potential. That being said, you know, nothing's perfect. We work together, but that's my philosophy.
As a French Canadian, is it surprising to you how booming hockey is in this area?
Not surprising, because obviously I played in NHL city where, you know, I saw, you know, in Arizona, in Texas, where teams were really investing in minor hockey and in the growth of the sport in their own states. And you look 20 years ago and where they are 20 years later, it's all a different ballgame, because when you watch a draft, all of a sudden there's 2-3 guys from California drafted in the first round. So I'm not surprised, because I saw it coming 20 years ago. But I think it's good for hockey that, you know, obviously southern United States is getting more and more hockey players.
Coach, thanks a lot for your time. Good luck this season.
Thank you, Andy.
That'll do it for this show. Join us next time when we take you behind the scenes of Gulls Media Day. My name is Andy Zilch. On behalf of the cast and crew, thank you for watching Gulls All Access, presented by California Coast Credit Union.